We have found our way. It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail of Gaia, and this is Free Range, where we graze on wild ideas, and we have wonderful guests. And I have a much sought-after guest who made quite a showing on our last show, and she's here again today. And we're going to talk about a very interesting topic that I haven't heard anyone else talk about. So let me bring Renetta Jones on. Welcome, Renetta.
Hi everyone. Hi Gail. Thanks for having me again.
Yes, well, you are full of so much fascinating information, and you've done your research and homework, and it's things that people need to know. And we're going to talk about the Titans today, right?
Yes. Today.
Now they're even bigger than the Giants, right?
Yeah, I'm not here to sidestep anyone's hard work of the Giants. Okay.
Oh,
nor am I here to, make myself out something, to be something that I'm not. I'm just here to bring information and expand the way you think. And when you expand the way you think, when you literally develop new neurons, okay, the neurons in your brain fire up, right? You experience neurogenesis, right? And what happens is people don't realize that creating new neuronal pathways, right, new ways of thinking, also expands your ability to see. They're directly connected.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah. So people who have a hard time seeing, people who have a hard time with psychic development, okay, they have a hard time seeing, usually have very dogmatic, rigid views, and they don't cultivate new ideas because new neuronal pathways in the brain is directly related to your senses, the way you smell, taste, touch, feel, etc. And also, it's also directly related to emotional intelligence, right? Emotional intelligence, I believe, is superior to IQ. Okay, we live on a planet with high IQ people, and the more intelligent people get, the less emotional intelligent they become. And what ends up happening is society ends up more depraved, right?
Oh, yes, I agree with that. I can see that. That's true.
Yeah.
They lose their emotions as they become more intelligent.
Bingo. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying, right? And what's interesting, let me make this a little bit bigger. Sorry, so I can steer ahead. So what's also interesting is that, the ancients said, and I'm going to show you where the Western thinking went wrong and the ancients had it right? So the ancients said, when you develop the brain, you should develop the brain bi-hemispherally, because you always end up with psychosis or psychotic behavior when there's a unilateral development of the brain, right? So what does that mean, right? And all of this is related to the ability to see. You see what I'm saying? And not just to see, you want to see and you want to connect. You want to see and connect. Why is that important? Because of the emotional intelligence, the residual effects of what you're seeing, right? So look at this. So the ancients, and I'm going back to the actual ancient, the Kemetic people, what you call the Egyptian people, right? They said you have to develop the brain bi-hemispherally at the same time. So what is it? It is learning and the arts, spirituality, I say spirituality, right? So things like the scientific process and the spiritual development must be developed at the same time. Okay?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I see the problem already.
Yeah.
What
So
you're saying.
yeah, so what we have is we have a culture that's developing intelligence, scientific process, advances in technology,
And nothing over here.
and exactly, and they're absolutely voiding spiritual intelligence, because spiritual intelligence is going to put restraint. Think about it. Spiritual development is going to put a restraint on lawless technology, on lawless agendas. You see what I'm saying? So the idea that spiritual intelligence, and when I say spiritual intelligence, it's very basic. What is spiritual intelligence? Okay, I am not going to harm you. I'm not going to harm you. Why? Because if I harm you one way or the other, I harm me. It's that simple. That's spiritual intelligence. I don't want to see you hurt because I don't want someone to hurt me. I don't want to see you violated because I don't want someone to violate me. That's spiritual intelligence, right? So why is that important? Spiritual intelligence demands that both sides, both hemispheres of the brain are progressing and developing at the same time. And when they're developing at the same time, what ends up happening is, you see that spectrum, light spectrum that's in front of us, that allows us to only see in 3D, that allows us to only see like a tiny portion of what's around us. That light spectrum, as you develop new neuronal pathways, new ways of thinking, it begins to expand. And that expansion is what they don't want.
Want to happen.
They don't want our ability to see, our ability to use psionic abilities, our ability to see beyond the light spectrum, and they surely don't want us developing both hemispheres of the brain at the same time, right? Because why? And that goes back to today's live stream. Why don't they want us developing both hemispheres of the brain at the same time? Because we're going to be doing what the ancients were doing. What were the ancients doing? The ancients were defying gravity. The ancients, the Titans, were, I believe, above 30 feet. It's 30 feet and under, 30 feet to 9 feet were the giants. But there was a race that was bigger, taller than 30 feet. And we're going into upwards of 100 feet, 200 feet. Remember, yeah, I can.
We
Yeah,
would be a bug.
yeah. And look at this, we have the etchings of the giants all over the ancient books. And what are the ancient books, Renetta? The ancient books are the writings and the carvings inside of the pyramids. Those are ancient books. Renetta, that's not true. Books are written on papyrus. Books were written on rice paper for the Chinese and papyrus for the Egyptians. There was a writing system before that. What was the writing system before that? Stone.
Stone, right into the stone, yeah.
Stone. The writing system where the ancients stored technology. And I believe they were bihemispherical, and they could see when you're bihemispherical. Remember, I said, when you're operating with both sides of the brain, that spectrum expands. They don't want us functioning on both hemispheres of the brain. So why don't they want us? They want to be able to manipulate religious people, because religious people are two right hemisphered, and they want to be able to manipulate so-called high IQ people, and they use both of them to destroy each other. Why? One is two right hemispheres, one is two left hemispheres. So let's get back to the writings in the rocks.
They divide everything, don't they?
Yeah, they've been doing this a long time. You know, religious people are right hemisphere of the brain. I hope I got that right. And scientific people are left hemisphere of the brain, right? So what do? When they want to manipulate religious people, they bring out left hemispherical dominance. Okay? Oh, religion is the Stone Age, blah, 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 blah. And then the religious people get subjugated. When they want to destroy the high IQ intellect, yada, 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 they use the right hemisphere people, which is religious, to destroy science and learning. And Europe has a very prolific history in modern times, of doing this. And when Europe was under the domination of the right hemisphere, and I'm going back to the stone, why they wrote in stone, and which is the beginning of the argument, right? So we're going to use Europe as a template to show how they did this, right? So Europe was under the thumbprint of right hemispherical people, which was religious dominance. There was no science, no learning. There was, in fact, great architecture. We have to give them that. But in terms of science and learning, it was considered witchcraft. And you got burned, you got like made into a sandwich, you got quartered, you got, I mean,
Horrific.
yeah, you went through horrific torture, you got killed, and your skulls and your bones were used to build buildings. This is right hemispherical dominance, right? Okay, what happened? The Europeans, this is modern history, threw off the reins of the church. What followed after they threw off the reins of the church? The Renaissance.
That's true.
The Renaissance.
Yeah.
What happened when they went into the Renaissance? You had art, you had science, you had learning. There was an explosion of left hemispherical dominance due to years of subjugation. Okay, but then what bring it round full circle. Then what happened? Years and years of unrestricted left hemispherical domination led to what? Where we are today. And that is why they're trying to bring in a resurgence of right hemispherical dominance, which is religion. This is your new world order, right? So yeah, so I mean, it's all connected. But what's interesting is, let's go back to the ancients. We're going back to the ancient writing system. And many people believe, you know, oh no, they started writing on papyrus. No. They started writing on rice paper. No. The printing press was created in China. No. Then it came to the Gutenberg printing press. Bullshit. The original printing press was and were rocks, was and were mountains. Renetta, you're talking garbage. I'm going to prove it to you. The ancient people used rocks and mountains not just for decoration, not just for art, but as books. Let's take, for example, people who believe in the Bible. What was the first writing system of those people in the Bible? The God wrote the laws on their heart. No, God wrote those laws on
I just saw a picture when you started to say that, you know, the
right?
commandments on the rock. They were, I mean, we've seen pictures of it. Yeah.
Why did Moses write it on the rocks? You know why? Let me tell you why. Because it would be very difficult to destroy and very difficult to book burn.
Ah, yes.
Think
We've
about
had
it.
plenty of those
Right?
book burnings. Yes.
Right? And very difficult for them to just erase it off the internet. And there was an ancient internet, which is a whole other live stream. There was an ancient internet. Oh yeah, the pyramids were the ancient internet. But look at this. But where did Moses learn to write? Well, it was actually, Moses said it was a hand of Yahweh that carved it into the rock. But where did this tradition of writing books into rocks come from? And you're not going to convince me that Moses was 6 feet tall, holding up 2 stone slabs, walking down the mountain.
Good point. Oh my gosh, I never even thought about that. Yes.
Okay.
That would be very heavy.
Imagine holding two small rocks in your hands, walking down a steep mountain. I mean, give me a break, okay? Which tells us Moses' size was unlike anything you knew. And there was a tradition of writing books, writing stories, and writing movies into mountains. And that's where we begin today. So here is one of the oldest rock writing cultures where they wrote books, they wrote movies, and they wrote scrolls into rocks. The most famous of them all, apart from the Aztec and the Mayans and the Incas, are the people of Kemet, who the Greeks called Egypt. Renetta, that's just decorations in the pyramid. No. Those are books. And the way in which the books are read, if you understand these books, the way in which the books are read is according to their primary belief. Their primary belief was that the sun was in control of this planet. So the rotation and the movement of the sun would literally open the scrolls at the dawn, which is 5:45, 6:45 in some places. And as the sun moved across the sky, 6:45, the scroll opens, the books open. This is Kemet, Egypt. We're talking about the oldest known book written in stone that we know of, right? As the sun moves across the sky, the books begin to play like a movie. Well, that wasn't just done in Kemet. That was done right here in the Americas. And I'm going to show you.
Whoa.
Yes, I'm going to show you right here where I live in the Southwest Desert. I'm going to show you I may debut one or two books. And we're going to start with the book called Bigfoot. I'm going to show you that Bigfoot was here and Bigfoot was interdimensional. I will prove it to you. I will show you the videos and I will show you the pictures. Bigfoot was interdimensional. Bigfoot was a shapeshifter. And Bigfoot was also a high-ranking king. That had the ability, to take on multiple forms. 1 was an insectoid, 2 was a Draco, 3 was human form, 4 was a primate, an upright primate. I'm also going to show you here where the ancients wrote a book into the mountain. I'm going to debut it on your channel. I wasn't going to debut it yet, but I said, let me debut it on your channel after I show Bigfoot because they go together. Where the ancients left books in the mountains, proving, and I will show you the scientific basis for this, proving that modern humans were genetically engineered. I am not saying evolution. I do not believe in evolution. I believe in genetic intervention. Big difference, right? Genetic intervention. And before we start, and before I show you that, I want you to think 98% of the human genome matches that of a primate. These are facts. Whether you're religious or not, you cannot escape this. These are facts. The human digestive system, I believe it's the digestive system, stomach and digestive system mimics that of a pig. These are facts. So the digestive system of a pig and 19% of the human genome matches that of primates. I'm going to show you that the ancients in my area, the ancient titans, because I don't believe this was the work of the giants, I believe there was a race before them. And because they were so huge, they used the environment around them as books. And one of the biggest things around them that they could scribe on were mountains. I believe that the smaller entities, this is where you get the Egyptians, the Sumerians, the Babylonians, etc., who are descendants of the Titans. And I do not believe in a 6,000-year history. I do not believe our God is Yahweh. I believe there is a genetic line of Adam and Eve. I don't subscribe to Adam and Eve, okay? I believe there are those of us whose DNA were here before. And I believe we have the right to claim our pre-Adamic DNA. Now, we do not have the right to claim cannibalism and animal sacrifice and human sacrifice. We're not crazy. I am not supporting that. And genocide and war and killing and all this nonsense. No, that is low emotional intelligence. That is not what I'm saying. Okay, let's make that clear. Killing no one. Let me repeat. I do not subscribe to killing anyone, and I do not subscribe to animal sacrifice. No, 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 no.
I agree.
Okay, this is low emotional intelligence. And when people operate low emotional intelligence, you know what comes up and comes down? Parasites. Okay.
Wow, okay.
Parasitic attachment. Yeah. Think about it. If you are, you know, think. There is an information field, right? All around us. Whether you engage with that information field or not, it is around us, right? You, as a human being, you charge that information field with whatever you subscribe to. Whether you realize that you're charging that field, okay, the information field around us is latent. It's there. It's a web. You see that web around us? It's a web. Now, here's the difference. The way the node, you, me, okay, lights up on the web is what we're putting our input into the web. Now, the web is not static. There are other life forms on that web, right? And some of those life forms are good and some of those life forms are not. So look at me. I go around and I am sanctioning genocide of animals. Let's use that as as an example. Killing animals. And I'm agreeing with this. I am charging that web, that information field. I am sending out a signal on that web to other entities on that web that this is what I'm ascribing or subscribing to. What do you think will happen to me? Those entities will be attracted to me and do what? Latch on to me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So people must be aware, whether you believe it or not, that you are in a web. They call it quantum entanglement. It's another name for saying a web. That is why I teach people about the spider and how not to get cobweb. But I realize people just love being cobwebbed by this creature. I'm like, oh my God. They just love being like, I'm like, you can't.
They don't realize it. It's an ignorance, I think.
Yeah, and they just I don't know, whatever. Anyway, right? So watch this, right? So
fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have to be aware, like when you send a signal in that web, always be prepared. Whatever signal, it's like a beacon. If I'm agreeing with killing anyone, that's the signal I'm sending into the web. And I'm going to attract those that are attracted to that signal. It's like monster flame. Yeah, it's serious. And then people wonder, hey, why is it that my life is being destroyed? What beacon did you send out in the web? Why is it that I'm oppressed? What beacon, what signal did you send out in the web? You can't escape the web. And now they're giving us an artificial web and turning us into insects. But anyway, let me continue, right? Okay, so we're getting back to the ancient language, right? So we're on the path of the ancient language. So we know that the pyramids were built by people here. But what kind of people here? Logic tells us that people want to say they were built by slaves. I'm like, that is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. They were living. Yeah. I don't care how many men you have. There's no way they're going to move those boulders. Those
Slaves
big
5 feet
pieces.
tall, pulling 10-ton
Not
blocks of
happening.
stone.
Yeah.
No, logic tells you, unless they were using anti-gravitic technology, which is highly plausible, and I'm going to prove it to you.
Yeah.
Anti-gravitic technology, right? To lift the stones and then propel the stones in whatever direction. I said, logic tells you, unless they were using an intermediary, today we have cranes, okay, an
They could do
intermediary.
it. Yeah.
Unless you were using a titan that had the ability to pick up the stone. Are the pyramids toys of the Titans?
Very possible. Very possible.
Think about a child.
Probably.
Think about a child this big, playing with Legos this big. And the child is stacking the Legos, building buildings, but look at the size of the child versus the scale. We're looking at scale. The size of the child versus the size of a Lego. The size of the child versus the size of a Lego. Why does that make sense? Because the size of the child and the strength of the child, okay, is stronger than the size, well, bigger size of the Lego, and stronger than the weight of the Lego. Think about scale when you're thinking the pyramids. So Renata, what are you telling me? What I'm saying is something bigger built the pyramids. And that is the realm of the Titans. Now, remember, people are going to say, well, Renata, where is proof of this in antiquity? Does anyone remember Colossus of Rhodes? The 7 wonders of the world? One of which was the Colossus. The Colossus of Rhodes. And what was so fascinating about the Colossus of Rhodes? The Colossus of Rhodes was fascinating because of the titanic size. We're dealing with a realm of history that was wiped out. And and I believe it was the Titans, and by their sheer size and by their bi-hemispherical dominance, they were able to build these things. Then they said, they're too big, too powerful, we can't control them, right? The Greeks wrote about the Titans. They did not call them giants. The giants came later. All of Greek mythology was about what? The Titans, and Earth was their playground. Did people forget?
Was that the Olympian gods, so to speak?
Yeah, that's my point.
Okay.
That's my point. Right? Later on in history, we get the giants, but the giants and the Titans are two separate groups. The Titans, I believe, via either genetic engineering, or they saw that their reign on Earth was coming to an end due to invasion, incursion, etc. They genetically engineered the next race. The next race down from them, and I'm going to show you something. They're shrinking us.
Yeah, look at where they got us now.
Yeah. And now they're like, screw it. We're just going to turn them into robots. We know that they can, and for people thinking that they can't shrink us, we know they can increase the size of sex organs. They can make your breast big, and I'm not talking about implants. I'm talking about genetic engineering. We know that they're shrinking men's testes and making men's breasts, their pecs, bigger. And they're using chemicals to do it. We know the East Africans said, and I know a bunch of East Africans, they told me, they said, listen, our ancestors got to 7 and 9 feet. This is not our real height. And when I asked them, I said, hey, so how did you guys get to like 6'5", which they think is short? I said, how did you guys get like 6'5"? They said diet. So really, they said, yes, they changed our diet. When we were colonized, they told us this is not the right way to eat. They changed our diet and we shrunk. People better wake up. Okay.
Wow.
Hormone disruptors.
Yes.
Okay. You could literally turn men into women using chemicals.
Yes.
You could literally turn men into
doing that.
Yeah. Women into men chemicals, men into women chemicals. You can literally increase brain capacity with chemicals. You can decrease, right? So why is that important? It's important because they erased, and I know this is a long introduction, but I want to do this introduction to begin to do what? Create neurogenesis, stir new neuronal pathways to get you thinking before I give you the visual so that you can see. Because when I give you the visual, what's going to happen when I after I stir neurogenesis, you begin thinking, pictures begin, lights go off in your head, pictures form in your head, and then when I give you the visual, you know what's going to happen? Your abilities come online. I've been doing this a long time.
That's awesome.
I know how to activate people's abilities. Right? So when the light goes off, the pictures start moving in your head. I haven't showed you a picture yet, but I know your brain is beginning to think like, oh, right? Then when I show you the pictures, your abilities come online. Okay.
That's fantastic. Yeah. I always like too the way you ask questions that you know that it's in the head of the person already. You always I like the way you do that. That's really a good thing.
It's like because I'm my goal is not just to come here and show you something and then take you, oh yeah, this is what I discovered, yada yada. No, my goal is to bring people online. And how do I bring them online? I need to expand their ability to see. Because seeing is directly related to haptics, the ability to touch. And when I say touch, I don't mean just touch in the physical. I mean touch in the realms you can't see. But I also caution people, do good. Because those realms is not just good. There's evil in those realms, right? So always try to walk with a clean, pure heart. So that's the only thing that gravitates towards you, right? Anyway, so let's continue. So we see, we're not talking about inside of the pyramids. The inside of the pyramids, I believe the inside is where we get the giants. Or just regular humans, because the regular humans were here too. The outside is where we get into the realm of titans. So titans gave birth to giants. Giants gave birth to what we call tall people. Tall people are between 6 and 9 feet. 9 to 30 feet are the giants. 30 and above are the titans. Wow. Is it making sense? Is it beginning to make sense?
Yes.
So
it's very interesting too. Yes.
Yeah. So we see.
Yeah, it's stimulating those neurons.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to do, right? So we see there's a whole part of history that was erased. But what did the Titans do? The Titans knew they were going to get rid of them. So the Titans, because I believe they were bi-hemispherical, they began to leave the ancient texts in places that they know the ancient book burners or planetary burners, the people who burn down planets, they knew if we put our texts here, even though people would see, they would not believe until someone or some people came along and said, hey, this is writing. Hey, this is this, that, and the other. So I believe that the Titans did what their children did, which was write in stone. The first writings on planet Earth was the first writings that you could see. The actual first writings is in the waters, but you can't see it unless you know how to tap into the waters, right? The first libraries are in the waters, okay? But you can't see it unless you know the language of water, right? To bring forth the knowledge. And that is an even more sacred form of writing. But let's get to the stone. So they wrote in stone and they carved their books, their history into mountains. And that's what we're going to do today. So if you want, I could start, let's see, let me present, right? We're going to start with the story of Bigfoot. All right, let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me bring that up.
Yeah, let me.
There we go.
Okay, let me slow down the speed. Okay, I have to let you guys know that my camera is shaky because I didn't have it on a tripod. Okay, I was just so shocked when I saw this. So first, we're gonna play the video, and I want to see if you see.
That's Bigfoot.
That's a.
I see it.
You see it?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
Yes, I
and
do.
then we're gonna play the video, and then we're gonna go through several different pictures, and we're gonna decode Bigfoot. Right? So you got to be paying attention, right? So let's play and let's have some fun today. So I slowed down the video. So I hopefully you don't get sick because it's very shaky. So if you have a problem with shaky video, just turn away and we'll just focus on the pictures, right? We're watching the video. I just slowed it down so it's less shaky, but you see how shaky it is?
Yeah, it's all right though. You can still.
Okay.
I know how hard it is to hold a camera still.
And it was windy and okay, now we're zooming out. Pay attention. Pay attention. Watch this. That's a mountain, people. That's an entire mountain. Do you see it?
Yes. Wow.
Now we're going to do the decode. We're almost there.
There's a couple of questions that came up, but we can catch them in a minute or two.
Okay, sure. Now we're zooming into the face. I'm going to stop. Pay attention because we're going to decode the face, right? Pay attention.
Okay.
I want you guys to focus on the face. Focus on the face because there's going to be stuff you see that you think you didn't see. Tim, we're going to go into the, we're going to decode it. You're going to see. At the end of this session, you're going to see. I do this for a living. Okay? Pay attention to the face. Look at this. This was a really good shot. Okay? Pay attention. Pay attention. And this is a mountain in my area. Oh, this is a good shot too. Pay attention. All right? Then we're going to decode the pictures. We're almost done. You seeing? Okay, so we're done, right? So that's, let's start here. Okay, this is the photo of the mountain. Everyone sees? Is everyone seeing? Okay, does everyone see a Bigfoot? If you don't see a Bigfoot, I will help you to see.
Somebody said they didn't see it.
Okay.
Tim Potter said, I can't see Bigfoot.
Okay, so Tim, let me help you to see, right? Okay, so when you want to understand the language, it's a language. Today we call that language art.
Oh.
Today, the language of the Titans, we call today art. Here's the problem. The language of the Titans written in mountains. Okay, no problem, Tim. The language of the Titans written in mountains, according to psychologists and psychiatrists, they say it's pareidolia, meaning you're crazy and you're seeing stuff that's not there, or it's just a fluke of nature with, shapes just naturally form together and create objects that you think you see. No, this is not pareidolia. This is intelligent design. intelligent design. Right. So let's go to the markup. So now we're decoding Bigfoot, right? Okay, Tim. Do you see this left eye, this right eye? Do you see this right eye? Do you see this head? Do you see this arm? This is the classic carving of Bigfoot, exactly like the video of Bigfoot. You know the famous video of Bigfoot? Where he turns around? The famous video of Bigfoot.
I haven't seen it myself, but
No, you have. You know that famous video of Bigfoot where he's walking in the woods and he turned around and people have been speculating whether the video is real?
okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, now I know what you're talking about. Okay, got it.
This is the classic
Wow.
Bigfoot pose. Okay, Tim, do you see Bigfoot now? Do you see Bigfoot?
Yay, thanks.
There
Yeah, he does. I
Mhm.
see it. I came late. I didn't realize it was artwork. Yeah.
Yes, it's artwork, but it's also books. I'm going to show you where it goes from just art to tell a story to books, okay, to actual books, and then we have movies, okay? So it's intelligent design of the Titans, right? So this is Bigfoot. Okay, but Bigfoot doesn't stop there. Check this out. So does everyone see Bigfoot now, right? All right.
Yeah, it's good like this. Yeah.
Yeah, just like the classic, let's see if I can do the classic Bigfoot. Hold on. Let's see if I pull up the classic video of Bigfoot. Video of Bigfoot. You're gonna see that same, let's see. You know that famous video where Bigfoot is walking in the woods? Ah, here we go. Let's see if I can pull this up. Just bear with me 1 second here. I'm trying to see if I can pull up that famous. There we go. Okay. Do you guys see that? Remember that video?
Yes.
Now
Yeah.
look at the pose of Bigfoot. Look at the pose. Look at the head turn.
Yeah, it's exact. Oh my God. Yes.
Look at the arms. And look at the mountain. Is that a coincidence?
That's amazing, is what that is.
Right? Look at, let's do it again. Let's see if it plays, because this is not the full video. Now let's go back. Hold on. It's a long video. Watch this. Okay. Minus that part. Look at this. Look at the arm swing. Look at the head turn. Look at the lower body. You see that? Oh, Sherry, you're psychic. So you're beginning to see. Okay. So I wanted to show you guys the classic video of Bigfoot versus what's carved into the mountain. So Sherry, write down everything you see because I'm going to show you even more, right? So Bigfoot.
Okay,
oh my God, Renetta. Yeah. Why is, ouch. Renetta, why is there Bigfoot carved into a mountain in the desert Southwest? There's no trees here for Bigfoot to hide. Now, how many times have we heard people say Bigfoot is interdimensional?
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, Bigfoot is interdimensional. And Bigfoot does not just live where there are trees, because people believe that Bigfoot just lives in places that are densely populated with trees, and they use trees to travel. Well, I'm here to tell you there are no trees here because this is the desert, and Bigfoot uses the mountains to travel.
Wow.
Let's look at this. Let's look at another picture. We're going to view Bigfoot from another angle, okay? Now let's look at this one. So this is me turning the camera in a different direction, right? Same Bigfoot. Now I want to focus on something. Let's see here. Better yet, let's do this photo. because I want to focus on something. We are going to focus just on this region. This region. Is everyone following me? I'm going to show you. Now we see the Bigfoot's eyes. Everyone sees his eyes? Right eye, left eye. Does everyone see his eyes? Okay, let's highlight the eyes, right? So we see Bigfoot. Mark up. Let's mark him up. I'm going to show you something, a secret about Bigfoot and why Bigfoot is so elusive. Okay, so this was Bigfoot's eyes originally, right? Can we agree? Great. But look at this is something really interesting. The top of the mountain forms this unique shape, right? Pardon my terrible drawing. And then there's a ridge here. Wait, hold on. Why is this beginning to form, hold on, a reptilian ridge? A reptilian, let me clear it so you can see. Do you see the ridge coming down here?
Yeah.
There's a ridge, which is a classic. The reptiles have a ridge, a classic ridge here. Right? Where their third eye is. Why is Bigfoot transforming into a reptile?
Probably to protect himself from another one. Yeah, no?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, think about it. What's the purpose of shapeshifting? So you can be inconspicuous to your enemies. Now watch this. Hold on, Renata. Bigfoot here begins to morph into a reptile. But that's not all. Look at this.
Wow.
Let's clear this. Let's clear this. Let's clear this. Okay? Now, I'm going to show you something even crazier. Let's see if I can find an even better photo. Hold on. This is the photo I need. Now, look at this photo. This is the same Bigfoot photo. We see the eyes of Bigfoot, but we see the ridge of the reptilian. This is a reptilian ridge where his third eye is. Okay? Now watch this. I'm going to show you something even crazier. Pay attention. Down here is another set of eyes. What? Down here is a beard. Up here begins to look like a trident crown with 3 large jewels. Are you seeing it? Here is the ancient flap that kings wore. Kings would wear a flap under, and then they would rest their crowns, because their crowns were so heavy, on their head. What's the word I'm looking for? Do you see the crown? And this here becomes the robe, or the, as the Arabs call it, the tobe of the king. Renata, I thought it was just Bigfoot. Why did Bigfoot shapeshift into a king with a trident crown?
Because he was in charge?
What species? Bigfoot as king. Planet of the Apes.
Oh, they were telling us something, eh?
It's right here carved into the mountains. Bigfoot as king.
Yep.
When people say that Bigfoot can shit King Kong.
King Kong. Oh my God, yes. They tell us stuff and we don't have a clue.
And I'm going to prove it to you that Kong was king. That Kong engineered part of the human genome. I'm going to prove it to you in the ancient books carved into the mountains where I live. So, why is it that Bigfoot has been so elusive? Chewbacca. Why is it that Bigfoot has been so elusive? You're trying to capture a royal dynasty. You understand? You're trying to capture royal blood. And the royals have always been known as what? Shapeshifters.
Yeah.
So not only was Bigfoot royal blood, and we have it, they tell us, King Kong, 98% of our DNA matches that of primates. They always say that the human race is a royal race. King Kong. Tim, you got it, right? But here is an interesting thing. So we're going to remove it, and I want to see if you guys can see it. So pay attention to the lines. King Kong gets translated into a human-looking king. And I'm going to show you the carvings that's carved into the mountains here, right? So I'm going to cancel it, and let me know if you can see him coming through. See him coming through the mountains without the carvings, okay? And this is why I want to teach people about the ancient language carved in stone. And one of the things we're going to do is an excursion to this area, right? All right, so watch this. We're going to remove it. Do you see him? Do you see the king? Do you see the king with the crown? I hear, there you go, his beard here. Do you see him? Let me zoom in. Do you see the king staring at you? The reptilian's head becomes his crown. Do you see him?
Wow.
Teresa sees him. Anybody else? Does anyone else see him?
Well, this is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
See what Teresa said?
Mm-hmm.
Kahuna on Big Island talked about the king planet in Orion. Council of Light Planet. I'm from there after Lyra.
Yeah. There's listen, the dog star is here. Okay. The King Kong is here, showing that he genetically engineered humans. But I also want to show you the insectoid. Keep watching the king. Keep watching the king. Now, we also see something interesting about this king. He wears, you know how these cowboys have a ring, a belt for their cowboy hat to hold it down?
Yeah.
And you know how the Arab sheikhs, they wear this ring on the head to hold down their I don't know, their veil.
Yeah.
Okay, don't you see the same ring up here holding down the veil as it blows in the wind? As it blows in the wind, let me outline it. I want to show you. And the people that wear this are the royal bloodlines. Watch this. This is the ring. Okay.
Yeah, see the shawl. Yeah.
The shawl. Thank you. Oh gosh, my drawing is terrible. Okay. Let's do red. All right. Okay. You see it blowing in the wind? Look at this. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. Do you see it? This one comes down here. You see it? Let me give you a picture. Hold on. Okay. I don't know what it's called. Okay, perfect. I found an image. So you can see it with your own two eyes. Do you see it?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Do you see it?
Yep. Very interesting.
Look at this. Look at this. Are you seeing it?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now let's look at
Okay.
something else that's interesting, huh?
I gotta have you address this question. But I thought the queen spider was the one who created everything.
The queen spider is the one who created the web. There are powers of creation under the queen spider. The web, okay, so the web is the everything, where everything is connected, okay? It's the ether, it's the electromagnetic waves, it's the internet, it's the atmosphere, it's other planets, okay? It's the web that is the foundation for everything to be built upon, right? I explained that. Great question. So there is a queen spider that is good. I think people didn't hear what I said. There is a queen spider that is good, who is a part of the cosmic web. There is a rogue spider that is building an artificial web over the cosmic web. The artificial web is to enslave everything. Does it make sense now?
We're not going to let that happen, though, right?
No. Bringing knowledge doesn't mean that it's not because we bring the knowledge and tell people the truth of what's going on and the truth of who the entities at the top worship. That means we're going to let it happen. I never said we're going to let it happen. I said we need to open our eyes and see who's really at the top.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does to me.
Okay. Wonderful.
Teresa is saying that we are creator beings also.
Yes. Remember I said
beings co-creators.
Remember I said we are nodes on the web? Remember I said there's information field? And I said be careful what signal you put out into the web. Because there's good and there's evil on that web. And whatever signal your beacon is sending out is what you will create. That is how reality is created. Reality is created inside of the web. You cannot escape this thing. Even if you go to another planet, all the planets are interconnected. Okay? And that's why I always said, do good, create good. Keep your spirit light. Purify yourself. Don't hate. Don't lie. Don't cheat. Don't steal. Remember I kept saying that? So I didn't say that we're going to lose and the spider's going to win. I said very carefully, they at the top worship a rogue spider. There is a creator and there is a destroyer. Right? On the web, on that cosmic web, there are two forces. There are the forces of good and the forces of evil, whichever way you want to call it, positive and negative, diodes, whichever way, magnetic poles. You understand? Not just be careful about what you think, but what course of action. And not only that, what you absorb, right? So whatever you absorb and you emanate is what's going to be drawn towards you because it's a web. It's interconnected. So this is why I said to people, if we take knowledge and we go out there and we sow the seeds of knowledge, but not just knowledge. Remember I said emotional intelligence. What is that? It's simple. I am not going to do to you what I don't want you to do to me. I am not going to do to someone in a distant land what I don't want done to me.
There, thank you for saying that. Look what's going on in the world right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And anybody that supports that is just putting out
And
really bad signals.
very bad signals, but here's the thing. Those signals are going to come back. That's
those
the
people.
problem. Exactly. And those signals are coming back, not to get political, but all the years of wars, right? All the years of wars on foreign soil, the oppression is beginning to show up where? In America.
Yeah.
This is what I mean when I say
It's
be
coming
careful.
back to America. Yeah. Yeah.
All the years of invasions is coming back to America. Now you understand when I say it's a web? Now you understand when I say we are nodes on that web. Okay? When we view American lives as more valuable than other people's lives in other countries, don't be surprised when your life is devalued on American soil. When you deem America's wealth and comfort more valuable than the wealth and comfort of other people in other countries, don't be surprised if your wealth and comfort gets destroyed. Why? Because it's a web and it's all interconnected. It's very simple. The law of one. Tim, you got it, right? Okay, so you guys are seeing that, right? It's simple. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's a simple law. That's it. That's it. Without religion, without anything. Do no harm. Harm no one. Right?
What if somebody tries to harm you? What are
No,
you
that's
supposed to do?
self-defense. That's not harm. That's called self-defense.
Okay.
But even after self-defense, what you want to do is you want to get back in right standing. And this is why I said to people, when you defend yourself, after you defend yourself, you put it out there. This was a true act of self-defense. Okay, because some people are delusional.
Yeah.
Okay, they kill, maim, murder, and say, oh, it was self-defense. No, it was murder. Right? No, self-defense, self-preservation is not harm. But even after you do it, because another life was lost, you always declare, this is not a lifestyle and this is not a pattern. I acted with self-defense. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
because you
big
want
difference.
Yeah, because you want to put that out there that this is not a way of life.
Right.
Right? Does that make sense?
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
So even if you have to, unfortunately, you have to take a life to preserve a life, you must declare this is not a way of life. This is not a way of life. This was a one-time action for self-preservation. Done. That's it. Right? Okay. Beautiful, J Thought. J Thought said, don't disrupt harmonies. That's how the ancients saw it. That's just so powerful. Just so powerful. Don't disrupt the harmonic balance that's there, right? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Okay, so the topic has become emotional intelligence, spiritual intelligence, right? These questions are really great. So can we measure, gauge our creator efforts? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. If you like planting, right? And you sow a seed and a flower comes up, it tells you what you did. If you talk to someone and they leave you saying, oh my God, you had me laughing, you just created life. Creating life is not just a baby after 9 months. If you cook a meal and the meal is delicious and the people say, oh my God, that food was so great, you created life. Okay? If you work at a job and someone calls in and with a problem and you solve their problem, you just created life. Why? Because you solved one problem in a person's life. You understand what I'm saying? If someone is toggling with very difficult concepts and you bring them an answer, you just created life. So life is not just oh, I change the whole world and, I whatever, and I do something big. No, life starts as a seed. And when the seed germinates and the plant begins to come out, that is life.
That is like if you're dealing with a difficult individual and you work with them and you get them to see something, you have planted a seed.
And you brought them life.
Yes, wow.
That is creator. That is working with creator power. Now, working with destroyer power, because remember, it's two entities in the web. Now, when you're working with the power of the destroyer, and there is an entity called the destroyer.
Yeah.
For the ancient Hindus, she's called Kali. For the ancient Hebrews, they're called Abaddon. To the ancient Greeks, it was called Apollyon. There is a destroyer. When you're working with destroyer power, you don't bring life, you take it. And, I'm afraid that the power of the destroyer is taking over nations. Okay? Now, one of the ways for you to know that you're walking in creator power is creator power doesn't just bring life, because, a transhumanist would say, me putting foreign objects in your body is bringing life. No. Does it bring peace? If it's violating the laws, the ethical laws of the person and of the harmonic balance. Thank you for that. I think it was Tim who said that. It's not bringing life, it's bringing death. You must get permission. Okay? All right. So I hope I answered that question. So let's continue, right?
Yeah.
So guys, thank you for that. Great, great, great question. So people, every day you wake up, you have the choice to bring life or to bring death. It's simple. Everything you do shows me whether you're walking in creator power or destroyer power. Not religion. It's simple. It's simple.
Religion complicated everything.
It did. If I stretch out my hand to destroy you and then claim I'm following God, my God is a devil because I'm destroying.
Look at what the Catholic Church did in the name of religion.
Yeah. Come on, people.
Torture chambers.
Torture chambers in the name of God. Killing people. No, people, you're not bringing life. You're bringing death. It is a God. It is a God to some, but your God is the destroyer, not the creator. So really, the battle that's going on this planet is the battle of the creator versus the destroyer. Those who want to create life, those who want to create harmonic balance, and those who want to destroy it. So choose your side, right? And your side is determined by what you say, how you act, and what you do, right? It's very simple. Guys, it's very simple, right? So let's continue. So everyone sees this powerful entity wearing an ancient crown. Does everyone see it? Right? We see it? Okay. Now let me show you another one. Watch this one. Okay, watch this one. All right. So we're going to show focus on the face. I want you to focus in this area. Focus in this area. Focus in this area. Watch what he shapeshifts into. Da, 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 da. La, da, 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 da. Do you see an insectoid?
Ew.
Do you see a bug-eyed insectoid? The two big eyes.
Yeah.
The
Kinda
narrow
like,
face.
what is that one? The mantis.
The mantis. Whoa. Whoa. An owl. Whoa. So why is this Bigfoot so elusive? So all of the people who are saying Bigfoot is interdimensional, are they wrong or are they right? if we look at this ancient book, this ancient carving left there by the Titans, are they wrong or are they right when they say Bigfoot is interdimensional, but Bigfoot is also a shapeshifter?
Shapeshifter, yeah.
This could be
Exactly.
why he's so difficult to capture.
Can we throw an unusual question in here that
Yeah,
I
go
know
for
some
it.
people? Okay, here. This is kind of religious based. So, what's your opinion about the Nephilim? Were they as evil
Yeah.
as the churches say?
Yeah, well, here's my problem with categorizing whole groups of people. Okay, this is where I think religion got it wrong, because we know now that the translations were all wrong. This is what the actual real translators are saying. The entire translation of the Old Testament was translated by a family, and that family wanted to pursue a narrative, and that narrative is what we're seeing play out today. The entire translation was wrong. So here is my question. I'm going to frame it to you that's going to insult your senses for a second, but cause you to think. Think about what I'm saying. I'm going to insult your senses, but I'm going to provoke you to think. Think about it. If I said to you, all whites were colonizers, what would you say? You say, Renata, you're crazy. If I said to you, all black people were criminals, what would you say?
Bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah. If I said to you, all Hispanics are, I don't know, thieves, what would you say?
Isn't it funny how the different races have these stereotypical little negative
Right.
things added to them? Yes.
Okay, if I say to you, all Muslims are terrorists, all 1.2 billion Muslims are terrorists, what would you say?
Those are the narratives that we've been indoctrinated with.
Okay, now let's get to the Nephilim. So Nephilim basically are the children born to the giants. Remember I said to you, titans to giants to tall people. Okay, let me destroy an argument about the Nephilim right now. Okay, they were born from the marriage of the gods who came here and earth women. The women allegedly at that time were 5 feet tall.
How did they do
Alleged.
that? I've been wondering. You know that yes, I've been struggling with that one for quite some time. Wait
The
a minute,
women,
how could that have possibly have happened?
you know, we women are like, I don't think that's happening. Women could barely hold a 9-pound baby. You're trying to convince me she's going to hold the baby of something that's 30 feet tall? Right? And these are the Nephilim. First of all, the argument falls apart with common sense and biology. Okay? Now, if you factor in genetic engineering, which is highly possible, artificial insemination, okay, and CRISPR-Cas9, which is not new technology, it's ancient, then perhaps the 5-foot-tall woman could hold these children. Now, here is where the other argument comes in. So, what these people are saying is that these Nephilim caused the God of the Old Testament to literally blow up the entire planet because these were unsanctioned creations, right?
Right.
Here is my answer to that. I said, number one, are all of any group racist, colonizing, criminals, murderers, cannibals? No. So
absolutely not.
Thank you. The terror? No. Number two, let's look at the facts. There was a line. Let's specify. The Kandahar giant that was a cannibal was, no offense to redheads, I love redheads. They're beautiful. I think they're absolutely beautiful. But it was a genetic line specifically to redheads. They were red. They were red and hairy. When we get to the cannibal giants in the Americas, they were also red. What does that tell you? It tells you that someone came and was doing genetic experimentation that went wrong. Renata, how can you say that? How is it that the cannibal giant in Afghanistan, he was red, and then the Native American cannibal giant, all the way on the other side of the planet, he was red too? That is a genetic line. Pay attention. Bingo, Tim. That is a genetic line. Let me show you what I mean. We go to Sweden. A lot of the people in Sweden have blonde hair. What does that tell you? That is a genetic trait. So if we have a red-headed giant in Afghanistan and red-headed giants all the way across the Atlantic in the Americas, and both are practicing cannibalism, it means that someone went and tinkered with someone's DNA to produce a red-headed giant to do just that. To do just that. And by virtue of them being able to multiply, not just multiply, their size, because they're eating everything smaller than them. Look at their appetite. Their appetite would be voracious. They would eat everything. So I think the cannibals was an experiment gone wrong. And the cannibals, when the experiment went wrong, they let the experiment kind of like the...
Yeah.
That's an experiment too, people. You know, that's a genetic ongoing experiment. Do you know when they ended the co-policies, they said, we have concluded the experiment?
Thanks for telling us, right?
That's what they said. After they got rid of the policies, they said, we concluded the experiment. Whoa, what? So let's go back to the Nephilim. So the Nephilim, among them were a strand, a rogue genetic branch, much like the spider. You know, I have to put it to you in terms you understand. A woman gives birth to 5 children. One of them, unfortunately, inherited the alcoholic trait of a great-grandfather. Does that mean all her children are predisposed to alcohol and will become alcoholics? Or one of her children, she has 5 children, one of them becomes a criminal. Does it mean that all of them are predisposed to crime because one became a criminal? Understand genetics. And this notion that everyone of a particular group were running around eating everyone, I don't think so. If they did, we would not have pyramids. You understand this? How could you be eating the next generation and leave us architecture, science, and mathematics that our brains can't calculate? How could the Aztec and the Mayans be committing cannibalism and at the same time leave us with one of the most advanced civilizations on earth? It doesn't make sense. So what is plausible is intervention, people. Something intervened and changed the course of these people's history and introduced this bad behavior. And I think we're seeing that today. Today, most people don't realize that the violence we're seeing today is being caused by the latent frequencies coming off these cell towers. That's influencing people's behavior. You think this is new? No, we picked up the same signals. We picked up the same frequencies coming off these pyramids, and these frequencies can be manipulated. So we're dealing with genetic intervention. Something intervened, was tinkering with the human DNA. What happened?
Who does this?
Yeah, but it's not new. Enki.
Okay.
Enki, the master geneticist, go all around the planet. He goes all around the planet messing with people's DNA. And what happens when you mess with people's DNA? Let's look at let's call it Satan serum. 2020 Satan serum. Everyone knows Satan serum.
I like that. I'm going to use that. Thank you.
Right? Look at the damage from Satan serum. And they told us Satan serum, they told us it's genetic engineering. That means Enki's on the planet. I'm going to leave that there. So for me, no, I do not subscribe to all the titans and all the giants who are running around eating people. I do subscribe with genetic engineering gone wrong that produced a specific breed that turned out to be cannibals. And I think it was done on purpose. Why do you think it was done on purpose? They were
population.
You got it.
Here and there. Now they're doing it again.
Yes. Depopulation. And then when the experiment was concluded, which was they were eating everything, what were they also doing? They were also destroying the civilization that left us the pyramids, the civilization that left us these buildings, the civilization that left us ancient mathematics. If the mathematics they teach us is equivalent to the mathematics the ancient have, how come we can't lift stones? Why? How are we going to space in a tin can? If the physics they teach us is the same physics that they had, how is it that we're still using combustion engines?
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Were the original Nephilim later turned to synthetic evil, trying to appear as real?
That's a great question. I think when the experiment was concluded, they said, oh, look, these Nephilim, they're eating everyone. We have no choice but to destroy the planet and recreate. And that's what they're doing now. Oh, look. Oh, these are.
Ooh, look at this. Red means warning.
Red means warning. That's why I practice that by saying, I love my redheads. I'm not talking about redheaded people today. Okay. They said these people were red head to foot. Okay. And there's a mountain where I live. We'll get into that topic in another one, where the spider is. And next to the spider's red. And next to the spider is a red-headed giant. I have the mountain. You want me to show you the mountain?
Sure.
Yeah, let's show you.
This is fascinating stuff.
Let's show you. Yeah, I wanted to go in the next direction, but that's okay. Let's show you the red-headed spider. And I'm going to show you next to the red-headed spider. Hold on, I have to find her.
Oh my goodness.
Ah, here she is. Next to the red-headed spider. Let me show you. So those of you who think.
Oh, I remember that spider from the other show we did. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see him? The red-headed giant? Do you see his face? His hair, his nose, his beard? Okay,
I'm trying to get the eyes.
Okay, hold on. Let me change the adjustment here. Brightness. How's that? You see him?
Oh, yeah, that made it easier.
Okay, now let's do a markup. Let's mark him up. You see his face? This is his eye. This is his head. What did the Native Americans say? This is his beard. And he's coming out from underground. What did the Native Americans say? The Native Americans say it was red-headed giants going around eating people. Don't you find it funny that there's a giant red spider next to a red-headed giant? What is this mountain telling you? The spider
Spider
played a role.
in the development of the giants.
No, not the giant, not just the
Or not
giant.
the giant,
The red-headed
Red-headed
cannibal giant.
giants. Those giants, yeah.
Okay.
Specifically. Yeah.
Yes. And what are we finding in the, I call it the quack, 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 quack. Quack, 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 quack. What are we finding in Satan's serum? We're finding eggs and we're finding
Parasites.
cobwebs. There we go. And what do parasites do? Parasites take over the host. Parasites brain and train the host. So what is this section of the mountain telling us? This section of the mountain is telling us, hey, and look at this. Why is the spider, let me just erase this. Oh, let's just move this, hold on. And cancel. Okay. Let's go back here, make this lighter, adjustment. Okay. Why is the spider looking like it's riding a reptilian?
Oh.
I told you there are books in my region.
Yep. That's we always think that the reptilians are the ones, and it's actually
a rogue spider at the top. Yes, it's a rogue spider on top. Sherry, great question. Are you ready for this?
Okay, let me put that one up. This one here?
Yeah, Sherry. The one at the top. Do you think she laid her eggs in the giants? Okay.
Oh,
let me show you.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, you didn't see it yet? Let me show you this one. At the top. Do you think she laid eggs in the giants' brains, which changed them? I'm going to prove it to you. Yes, she did. You don't see it yet?
Oh my God.
Okay. This is the spider.
I'm trying to find her.
You don't find, oh, I wonder where it is. I don't know. I can't.
Oh, guys, the questions are way ahead of me here. Oh, do you think they are doing the same thing again with Satan's serum? Which
I'm going to prove it to you.
Potentially make us. Is that the question you're talking about?
No. Do you think they are doing this? It's at 11:32:22. Do you think they are? Oh, sorry. 11:31:27. Do you think she layered eggs in the giant's brain, which changed them? I'm going to prove it to you. Yeah. Did you find it? That's it. Okay, let's start with this. Let's start this way.
Oh my God. Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
So here we see the spider, but in this region, they call this the thunderbird. I'm like, that's a giant spider. But anyway, it's the thunderbird, but it shapeshifts, right? We see the thunderbird riding the reptile. Next to the spider riding the reptile is a red-headed titan. Because this is Titan. This is the Titans. A red-headed titan coming up from under the ground. You see this part right here in the mountain? This looks like an undulating serpent. I cut it off, but because, I needed a wide lens, right? So if I took a picture of this whole mountain, you would see an undulating serpent and then the head of the red-headed titan coming up from underground. Then he's facing the spider riding the reptile. What are the titans trying to tell us in this? When you go to a museum, come on class, we're in class now. When you go to a museum and you look at a painting, what do? You begin to activate your thought. What is the artist trying to convey? So on the left is a giant undulating spider. Up comes out of under the earth. Where did the Native Americans say the red giants lived? They came from the caves. They hid in the caves underground. Where did they say the Afghan red giant, the red giant of Kandahar? He lived in a cave that went underground. Here we see the giant coming from under the earth. He is facing the spider. The spider is riding the reptile. So we see three animals that work here, working to do what? Who is at the center to create this red giant? It is not all the titans. It was not all the giant. It was a specific branch. Now, keep watching this photo, because the ancients hid things in ways that require you changing your perspective, changing the way you look at things. Now you're looking at a mountain. If we were to turn this mountain, Sherry, I'm going to answer your question. Let's turn the mountain. The mountain begins to look like a face looking up to the heavens. Does everyone see that? The red-headed giant now looks like the beard of the mountain. But let's look at the spider. Now, if you follow the eye, this is the eye of the giant right here. We follow the eye back. We get to the temple. The eyes of the spider begins to look like eggs being injected where?
In the brain. Oh my God.
Did that answer your question, Sherry?
Wow.
Do you see the spider now looks like a pregnant woman? You know how women, when they give birth, their legs are like that, like a M, right? Because they need the cervix to be expanded wide enough for the baby to come out. Do you see it? And here comes 2 eggs being injected where? Right here. Now get this. Where does Neuralink go? Neuralink goes here. Does that look like a coincidence?
Okay. Tim says, Ismail Perez says negative AI God is at the head of the evil empire.
Okay, but what is the AI God? The AI is the intelligence of the spider. That is what people are not understanding. When we get radiation, when radiation comes to the planet in the form of solar energy, something is putting off the radiation. What is that? The sun. When you think of AI, you have to ask yourself, what is the entity that's producing the AI? It is the spider, people.
The rogue spider?
The rogue spider. So this is an, go ahead.
Why can't the good spider do it?
Because it's our job to wake the hell up. Why is it that we always have to be delivered? No, they help us when we help ourselves. Our job is to spread the knowledge, break the neural prison, break the neural prison over the zombies, break the electromagnetic spectrum prism around people's brain, cause them to expand their field, cause them to think bihemispherically.
Oh my God.
Wake them up so they can see, so they can think, so they can act bihemispherically. Think about it. If we wake people up who are only unihemispherical, one side or the other, what's going to happen? You know what they're going to do? They're going to take revenge on the other side. Galileo, what did the church do to Galileo? When you think with only one hemisphere of the brain, right? What do you think the religious people will do to the scientists? They'll kill them. What do you think the scientists will do to the religious? They will kill them. This is what happens when you only think on one hemisphere of the brain. We have to get people working in both hemispheres of the brain.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, let me show you something unique about this mountain. I want you to see this. I want you to see this. Okay, marker. Okay, I want you to see this. All of this was a part of his brain. All of this was his cranium. So what are we dealing with?
The spider laying the eggs there.
And we're dealing with big brains.
Big brain. Really big.
Yes, we're dealing with something that had a much bigger brain. So what is the ancients trying to tell us as a warning in this? They kill Christ. Thank you, Tim. Thank you. They kill Christ. This is what happens when you think with only one hemisphere of the brain. And they've been doing that. Look at how old these mountains are. Look at how old these mountains are. And these mountains are telling us there is a race laying eggs in the human's brain to take them over. When that race does that, it produces what? It produces a rogue race of cannibals.
We already have that happening.
And I guarantee you, if you take the persons and put the person on an MRI or CT scan, you're going to find parasites in the brain. You're going to find parasitic infestation. I guarantee it. This mountain. So what is the ancient secret that this mountain is telling us? Beware. There is a race of serpents. There is a race of spider, and there's a race of reptilians that are laying eggs, that laid eggs in the brains of the ancient people. And it produced, let's spin this around. Hold on. Crap. Bap, bap, bap. It produced, let's mark up, a race of cannibals right here carved into the mountains.
It's just amazing.
The ancient left the books. The ancient left the warnings. The ancient left their prophecies carved into the mountains. Why? They knew they could not burn the mountains down. So they left the secrets carved into the mountains. Now let me show you. Let's go back to another mountain. I wanted to go deeper into Bigfoot, but let me cover this mountain because I want you guys to see this, right? So just to let you know that we're going to be doing excursions with the opening of the books in this region. Okay, let me close all these out. These are all Bigfoot. Oh, wait, let me cancel this. Oops, let's cancel this. Sorry, let's cancel it and close it. I want to show you genetic engineering with your own two eyes. Okay. I don't know why this is behaving like this. Okay, I wanted to show you the weapon of Bigfoot. I wanted to show you the weapon that Bigfoot uses, which is dolphin technology. When you want to understand how Bigfoot travels, when you want to understand how Bigfoot is interdimensional, Bigfoot uses dolphin technology. Renelle, are you crazy? Let me show you. Let me show you guys. That's why I want to teach you. Do you see the dolphin?
Ah! Oh my goodness, yes I do. I think I've been a dolphin in a past life too.
And we know from the ancients, that dolphins are not what you think they are. They, first of all, came from their own planet. Number two, the dolphins are more intelligent than humans.
Yes, they are. I was glad you said that because I was going to say it if you didn't.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the dolphins have a very complicated form of communication, not just communication, but navigation. If you want to break the code, and I don't want to put this code out there because I don't want to endanger Bigfoot because we have a bunch of cannibal idiots running up and down this planet that love to kill things, kill animals, take them, put them in labs, and then experiment on them with robot, psychopaths. But, Bigfoot has the weapons to defend itself. I don't want to put out too much, but if you want to understand how Bigfoot defends itself, Bigfoot uses dolphin technology. If you want to understand not just dolphin technology, but Bigfoot also uses another form of technology, which is from the god Atlan uses this technology. The Africans call this god Shango. And what's his name? I forgot what the Europeans call him. Okay, let me show you. The other technology that Bigfoot uses for self-defense is the dolphin merges into A trident. Who uses a trident? The god of the sea, the Greek god of the sea.
Yeah, what's his name? Poseidon, is it?
Poseidon. So dolphins live where?
In the water.
In the water. Poseidon came from where?
Water.
Bigfoot uses trident technology. Not only does Bigfoot, but the Native Americans say that this being is actually Thunderbird. Thunderbird uses electromagnetic weapons. And Thunderbird actually, his wings actually looks like a trident. So a trident technology, just like Poseidon, the same weapons that Poseidon uses, dolphins use dolphin technology to circumnavigate, and for defense, they use trident technology, which is an electromagnetic weapon. It's right there carved into the mountains. The mountains are not what you think. There are books in there, right? You see it with your own two eyes, right? Okay, so let's cancel this one out and let's go into, okay, here you see the trident even better. Here you see Bigfoot aiming the trident. You see it? You see it, the dolphin?
Yes, I see the dolphin easy.
And it looks like a weapon.
Yeah, it does. It does.
See? And you actually see the eyes of the dolphin. Here, the mouth of the dolphin. Do you see it?
Fascinating.
Okay. So we're looking at books. This is intelligent design. This is a book. This is a book. They tell you read books. I say read the mountains. Let's continue, right? So I want to show you the ancients in this area. Voila. Tell me if you need me to make it bigger.
Jay thought, I'll tell you, I don't know if you were here from the very beginning, but I think if you go back, you'll see it. Because he goes, these are not shadows created from the clouds, question mark. I can't see
I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it. I can. I think he made a
I
mistake.
can. I see.
I can, yeah. Or maybe he meant to say, I can't see what's embedded. I can't.
I can't tell for sure what he's saying.
Yeah.
So you might want to say it again.
Yeah, I think he's saying I cannot see. Because, okay, Bigfoot, I'm sorry. Jay thought you need to be trained. But once you see, you can't unsee, right? Did Bigfoot use this technology against the spider? It depends, because remember, Bigfoot can morph into a king. Bigfoot can morph into a human. And I'm going to prove it to you that Bigfoot can morph into a human. Remember King Kong, Jerry? Bigfoot can morph into an insectoid, which means, whoa, that's part of the spider clan, the creeping, crawling ones. I know spiders are not insects, okay? They have 8 legs. I know. But they're part of the race of the creatures that crawl, right?
Yeah.
So Bigfoot can crawl. Sorry, Bigfoot can change into insectoid. Yeah, so which means for defense, and I think the shape-shifting is for defense, or what they would call offense, when you're going on the offense, which I think is actually defense, but whatever. Okay?
Yeah, that's true.
It's like,
okay.
Right? So if someone attacks you, you go on the offense, which is actually defense, a defensive position, because it's defending yourself. But you know how the word witchcraft, that's a whole other live stream we'll do. We'll have fun with word witchcraft, right?
Oh, that's for sure. Yeah.
Okay. So I need to make this bigger. Let's make this bigger, right? Can you see? Let's show you intelligent design. Do you guys see the basin, the crater? Okay. Don't you see faces staring at you? Or do you need me to make them bigger? Bigger, bigger.
Oh, yeah, I see a whole bunch of faces.
Yeah.
All the way across like this.
All the way across. But isn't it interesting? Okay, everyone press 1 if you can see the faces staring at you. The faces. Tim Potter, yes, send their curses back on them. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, there was someone asked something about a curse. I didn't.
Yeah. You do not permit. Yeah, you do not permit people to harm you. Do not, because they are in violation. You do not license harm. Okay, everyone press 1. Press 1 if you can see the faces. Is it the same faces? H2O, it's highly possible. It's highly possible because remember, there's an information field and the information field organizes itself based upon the dominant field. The dominant field is the Homo sapien. Okay, guys, press 1 if you can see the faces because we want to make sure everyone can see the faces. If not, thank you, Sherry. Solar Flash, Phoenix. Yep, Phoenix Rising, right? So the information field is going to organize itself into the dominant field. What's the dominant field on Earth? 2 eyes, 1 nose, 2 lips, ears, and a face. Right? That is the singular motif. That is the singular motif across the planet, right? And I'm not being harsh on you guys. The reason why I say that is because sometimes people don't pay attention, and I'm like, because I need to find the people who can't see. So do you guys see faces in the mountains? You guys see the faces. Now look at this. No, Renetta, that's pareidolia.
It's like a bunch of people all together, their heads all boom, 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 boom.
Right, and they're all aligned.
Yeah.
Why is it that the eyes are all aligned? Why is it they all have the same forehead? Why is it that their hairline all starts here? Do you see it? Let me outline it.
Wow.
I didn't want to outline it because it's going to shrink the picture. Oh, let's see if I can. Oh, no. It'll turn it. I'm trying to see if I can make the picture bigger while I do it. Okay, so let's do the markup, right? Let's mark up. So let's see. Let's show you. Why is it that their hairline all starts here? Why is it that their eyes all start here?
I see beards too, right?
Of course you're seeing beards. You're seeing beards, you're seeing faces, you're seeing noses, you're seeing eyes, you're seeing hairline, you're seeing hair. You are seeing what you're seeing. Now let me remove this. Renetta, what is the mountain trying to say? Let's zoom in, right? So I'm going to zoom in all the way. Okay, now do you see the eyes? Are you seeing the white eyes up here staring at you? Do you see the face? Are you seeing it? Gail, are you seeing the eyes?
Oh, yes, I see it. Yeah.
Okay, now watch this. What is this? And let me show you intelligent design. When an artist is painting, before the artist begins to put the organized shape on a page, what does the artist do? The artist begins to plot the negative space that the characters are going to go into, the negative and the positive space. Up here is the negative space. You call this sky. Down here is the positive space. You call this the mountains, right? Then after that, after the artist plot the space he's going to put the character into, then the artist is going to outline the dimensions of where those characters will go. Watch this. This will prove we're dealing with intelligent design. How did the artist plot the space? How did this painter, how did this sculptor plot the space? Any painters here? Any artists here? Any sculptors here? Look, how did the artist plot the space for where the characters will go? Do you see the characters in the crater?
Yes.
Are you seeing it? Did you see the crater?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. Now get this. Okay. Oh, whoa. The artist How does negative space, positive space, sky, earth? The artist begin to outline where the characters will go. We see the faces. Okay, now every artist does what? The artist tells the story. Now it's time to decode the story. Are you ready for the story, class? Are you ready for the story?
I'm ready.
All right, let's zoom in. Whoa! Why is it that the creator starts with an ape? Do you see him? Let me show you. Let me show you. What? Do you see the ape? Do you see King Kong?
Oh my. Wow.
Why did the artist choose to put at the opening of the crater King Kong, a great ape? Let's remove the markup and let's zoom in. Markup removed. Zooming in. Do you see King Kong staring at you? Do you see King Kong staring at you? Am I the only one? Okay, that's at the opening. Now, what did the artist put at the ending? Let's go to this side. Let's go to this side. Look, now let's use the filter. Huh? Come show me, tell me, say it.
I thought faces
Faces.
staring
But what's
into
this?
the other group.
Yes, these are the faces on the inside. But the artist opened the crater with an ape. What did the artist close the crater with? Let us look. What is this? What is this? Is that a snout? Is that a pig's snout?
Oh my God.
Why would the artist close the crater with a pig's snout? A great ape, he opens the crater and he closes the crater with a pig's snout. Let us look at something here. Okay, I'm going to show you something here. Da, 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 da. But for a clear understanding of how closely they are related, scientists compare their DNA and an essential molecule that's the instruction manual for building each species. Humans and chimps share a surprising 98.8% of their DNA. What? How did the artist open the crater? What was illustrated on the left-hand side of the crater?
The pig snout.
On the left, it was the great ape.
Oh, it was a King Kong.
King Kong, a primate, a great ape. Now watch this. Now watch this. That's the 8 to the left. Let's go here.
I always get my rights and left mixed up.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Comparison of the full DNA sequence of different mammals shows that we are more closely related to mice than we are to pigs. We last shared a common ancestor with pigs 80 million years ago, but hold on. Pigs and humans share, hold on, not DNA, but they share, I think, the same digestive system.
Oh, you said that earlier.
The human digestive system and pigs' digestive systems are very similar to each other. Pigs and humans are both monogastric, mono one, meaning they will only have one stomach. And they are omnivores as well. Whoa, 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 whoa. Primates, 98.8% of their DNA shared with humans. The digestive system of the pig is exactly the digestive system of the humans. This is what the scientists are finding today. Whoa!
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 What does this have to do with people being told not to eat pork?
That's a great question. Not to eat their ancestors? I wouldn't eat pork because of the parasite overload.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I wouldn't eat it. But I mean, people can eat whatever they want, but you know.
Yeah, I don't eat it.
For me, it's the parasitic overload, but you know, whatever. But let's go back to the ancient rocks. Oh, Renata, this is pareidolia. Why do we see the framework of a painting or a sculpture? Why would the artist open the sculpture with a primate, close the sculpture with a pig, and on the inside are humans?
They use the DNA from both.
What is this mountain? What is this scroll telling us? What are the ancient titans telling us in this mountain? And this mountain is approximately 500 million years. I kid you not, because they used to be underwater 500 million years ago. What is the ancient titans telling us in this scroll? Humans who are in the middle are genetically engineered. It's right here.
Wow.
And science, not me, don't blame me. Science confirms it. How is it science in the 21st century are telling us humans and primates, apes, chimpanzees, etc., share 98.8% of the DNA. Humans and pigs have the exact same digestive tract. And here we have a mountain in the Southwest desert, opening with a primate, closing with a pig. Not sure what the pig species are, of course. Closing with a pig, and in the middle, it's humans.
I can't help but say this. Pigs eat anything, and so do humans.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And this is why I think I would have to agree. I would have to agree with the Bible on, hey, limit the craziness you eat so you can live forever. Other than that, I'm not really, you know. But do you guys see it? Do you guys see it? You see, I'm not making this up. Let's look here. Let's mark up the left side. Let's mark it up. Let's mark it up, people.
Spirit AR, I do appreciate some of the things you're saying. Yeah.
Okay, on the left side, we see a great ape. On the right side, we see a pig. And in the middle, we see what?
Humans.
Humans! And how old is this mountain?
I don't have a clue. How old is it?
These mountains were under the sea 500 million years ago.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing there's anything that left there to be able to distinguish it. But they,
Yeah.
yeah.
The mountains are not what you think, people.
Wow. Let's see what Sherry has to say on here.
Okay.
DNA engineering was rampant 500,000 years ago. Supposedly Enki created humans about that same time ago. Is this also part of that story?
Yes, because I also have the Elohim creating Adam and Eve on another mountain, but I will debut that on a different day.
Oh my goodness.
We have the genetic engineering of the spider and the reptiles, both serpent and oh goodness, they just erased my mind.
We just seemed like such an abused species.
Yeah, we are. That's why I keep telling people, it is not evolution. It is unwarranted, unconstitutional genetic intervention. It wasn't only Enki. It was, we see carved into the mountain here that the great ape was involved. The pig species were involved. Now, were they involved against their own will? Highly possible. Highly possible. We see that both the lizards and the serpents and the spider was involved. But when the lizards, serpents, and spiders got together, we ended up with a race of red cannibals. And on the other side of the mountain, I'm going to debut that on another day. On the other side of the mountain, we have the Elohim creating Adam and Eve. I have it on video. I have it on film.
Oh, we're going to have you back.
And then as the sun moves in the sky, you literally see the creation unraveling in front of you. We also have here the Valley of the Kings. Amazing. All the races of kings all the races of their kings carved into the mountains here. We have what the Dagon called the dog star from Sirius, carved into the mountains here. We have the opening of the two gates, the two sun gates, which brought in a race of aliens on a triangular black UFO. We have it carved into the mountains here. We have the winged god, that's Enki. We have the winged god carved into the mountains here. He came in from the dog star. We have it carved into the mountains here. We have the serpent in the Garden of Eden, the shape-shifting serpent carved into the mountains here. We have the genetic engineering of primates to create humans carved into the mountains here. We have Noah's flood carved into the mountains here. It's all in the books in these mountains. Wow. Yes.
What is where does Sophia come in and all this?
Sophia, I'm gonna upset some religious people, but Sophia came from the bloodline of when the females used to rule the earth. I'll leave that there.
Okay. I'll leave that there. Yeah, I don't know a great deal about her, but that's an area I need to find more about, but that's very interesting. Okay.
Sophia came from the lines of what you call the Isis bloodlines. Okay. This is when the rulers of earth used to be females. Thus the war, the incursion of the followers of Yahweh. Yahweh destroyed the female bloodline rulers, which a lot of men didn't want to be under, and brought in the patriarchy. That was brought in under Yahweh 6,000 years ago. Yahweh equals Enki equals, Enlil. Yahweh equals Enlil, who brought in the Draco type rule of male, of the patriarchy. And then they sought to destroy all of the history of the female rule of the earth. Atlantis was not ruled by a man. Atlantis was ruled by a female.
Oh my, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay.
It was a female. Yeah.
Okay.
So all of this was destroyed. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Linnea is saying, be careful. You got to access the right Sophia.
Yeah, I agree with that, because remember, they do duality. This is why, I'm very careful who I follow, because when you listen to what they say, they either move on the black side of the checkerboard or they move on the white side of the checkerboard. They never tell the people, hey, listen, we're being turned into insects to be food for a damn spider. They don't tell the people that. They want you to move to the black side of the checkerboard or the white side of the checkerboard. I'm like, bullshit. We need to get together and realize that if we don't wake up and start moving on one end of the damn checkerboard, we're going to be food for a damn spider. This is the reality.
And that's that rogue spider.
Yeah, that's the rogue spider. But I'm not telling people worship the real spider, even though she was worshipped in this region by the Navajo. You can look her up. They call her the great grandmother. She was also worshipped in Tenochtitlan. She was the queen spider. Okay, and she was the one who reined in the reptiles and to stop them from killing us. But I think the reptiles went and created, perhaps they created, or perhaps one of the females under queen of the spider queen, she went rogue because she's not sitting on the throne. But believe you me, underground, it is a real spider. Underground is a queen spider, people. Oh, here's something I wanted to tell you. If the ancients carved this into the mountains, what's underneath? What's underneath?
Say that again. I'm sorry, I didn't get it.
I said, if the ancients, if the Titans had the power to carve this on the surface, what's under there? What's below? Think about it. Think about it. That's why we need to wake up. That is why I want to do an excursion next year to these mountains so people can see these books with their own two eyes. You will not leave here the same. Okay, how to know if you're following? I wouldn't follow any spider. I'm a human. Why am I following spiders? I'm not telling you guys this to follow any spider. What I'm saying is I'm bringing you this message to understand how the ancients thought and how the ancient...
Are ancient labs underneath?
Yes, absolutely. What else is underneath? Ancient gates. You got to see all the books. Ancient gates are underneath, which means ancient technology. What could possibly carve those mountains? Satan means adversary. Anyone who's against you is Satan. Go look up the meaning of the word. Yes, we have to overcome evil with good, not good with evil. Not good with evil. We have to overcome evil. You're overcoming evil and bringing in good. Yes. And anyone taking you to the black side of the checkerboard. I'm not saying anyone who's not telling. I'm not saying don't tell history. No, tell history. But you have to say, okay, tell history. But we got to show the people on the ground. Look, you are being programmed to hate these people. It's people in the middle and entities at the top that they work for, moving us either to the left brain, which is the black side of the checkerboard, or the right brain, which is the white side of the checkerboard. Fuck the damn checkerboard. Okay? No, get off the damn square. Get off the square and get back to a circle. Get off the square and get back to a circle. Get off the square and get back to a circle. Why?
And how did Native Americans make their tents?
In a circle. Look at
we don't make any houses in circles now either, do you know?
The Africans used to build in circles. Ancient Atlantis was a circle. What did Thoth, the Atlantean, say? He said, do not move in squares. He said, find the circle and stand in the center. He said, from the center, you will push back evil. What did they do? They got us in a grid. What shape is a grid? The basis of a grid is a square. This is the ancient artificial matrix that they're bringing to life today. Look at the design in front of us. What shape did the artist use to create this? They used a dome. They used a bowl. Did they use a square? They used a bowl. When we look at the creation of Adam and Eve, in a third one, we will see that the same bowl was used to create Adam and Eve. Thoth, the Atlantean, said, run from the square and move to the circle. Now, I'm not saying don't play chess. I'm not saying don't play checkers. What I am saying is don't let anyone put you into square. What shape is a book? A book is rectangular. I'm not saying don't read books. I'm saying books have squares. Books are what? They are bound. You bind books. Understand. Understand. I'm not saying don't read. I'm saying, but if you're looking for God and you're looking for God in a book, you are being bound. What is the word, the meaning of religion? Religion means to bind. How do they bind you? Books. You bind books. Wow. I'm not saying don't read. I'm saying understand the spell that we're under. If you want to find God, you have to find God in nature. You don't find God in a book. You find God in its creation. Go out there and look for God in its creation.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wow. I'm just looking to see if there's any. I know we missed some questions. They scroll by kind of fast. Someone.
Okay.
Somebody asked, why do we need anybody to rule us?
Yeah, remember I said,
Yeah.
screw that. I said,
Yeah.
I'm not bringing you this message to go run to the spider. No, you can get knowledge from the queen spider. You get knowledge from the ants. I didn't tell you worship the ants. I said respect. Respect. Gain knowledge. But we must learn to do what? Humanity has not learned to rule themselves. That is the master class we're in. And the reason why everything is a circle is because when you fail the class, you're going to repeat. What is repetition? Repetition is a cycle. Yes. Right? Move away from the Masonic checkerboard. Move into the circle. But don't repeat the negatives. Yeah. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, it did. I was just getting reminded that we're going over 2 hours now.
Okay. So let's yeah.
This is awesome though. I don't even. It's hard for me to believe it's been that long already. So when you're having a good time, time just speeds right on by. So
absolutely,
this is absolutely fascinating stuff. I'm learning just like the audience is.
I hope you guys. I hope I enlightened. People today. I have some questions from my followers. Hold on. Do you mind if I just look really quickly?
No, go ahead.
Hey, so my followers were on here. I didn't see their questions pull up, so I'm just checking them now. Okay. Yeah, the purpose of me doing this is the mountains were calling me. They were calling me for a long time, and I finally went close to them. And that's when I said, oh my God, the mountains are speaking. Even your Bible says the rocks will cry out. The mountains are speaking, and they're saying, listen, you, humanity, are heading in the direction that's going to lead you to where we are. Rocks.
I'm getting goosebumps.
So when you get close to your mountains, don't just say, oh, the mountains look like this, or the mountains look like this. No, ask the rocks. Ask the rocks as you would ask the waters. You ask them, what is this mountain teaching me? What are your secret books? And the mountains will wake up. And they will show you the secrets that are written there. And they will show you because the ancients, the titans, left the books carved into the mountains. The giants wrote in the mountains. The ancient Egyptians, Sumerian, Babylonians, they carved into rock. Why? Because they knew one day the book burners would come and they would burn the ancient secrets and they would burn the histories. Okay? So when you stand by a mountain, you ask the mountain out of respect, show me the books, and the mountains will teach you.
John Handy is asking who Satan is in this.
Yeah, I answered. Satan means adversary. Anyone who is against you and against your cause is Satan. If your cause is just, they are Satan. Your accuser, you go into a courtroom, the person accusing you is the adversary. An adversary is Satan. Now, Lucifer is a different being. Lucifer is actually the artificial light. The war on this planet is between Lucifer, the first light, and the solar followers, those who follow the light of the sun. If you really understand what's taking place on the planet, Luciferians are saying, listen, Lucifer was here before the sun was created. The sun is the embodiment of Jesus, what people call Jesus. So Lucifer is saying, hey, listen, before the sun was created, I was here. Therefore, I have right to rule the earth. The people who worship the sun are saying, no, the sun is what controls everything. The Son of God has the right to rule the earth. That is the ancient battle.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah. And both of them produce light. Both of them produce light. Absolutely.
Awesome.
So one is the light and one is the one true light. I think that the real light is the sun. But if you read the ancient text tells you there was light before the sun was created. This is the battle we're facing. You're facing those who believe that Lucifer's light is the true light and those who believe that the solar light is the true light. This is why the entities that run Earth want to block out the sun, because they want Lucifer's light, which is the artificial light, guiding the planet. And I'm like, you people are crazy. Yeah. So I hope I woke you guys up. Let me just look through my comments really quickly. Hey guys, so to all my followers, I just want to say this. Tonight we have class, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight is the group training, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I sent out the link. If you need the link to join the class, if you need to reserve, I'm just going to post it on my page because okay, that's the link to reserve to join tonight's class. If you have not received the first email and you booked, email me. This is my email because this happens to a lot of people. Okay, so email me so that way I can put you in. And really quickly, let me see if I have any questions. We're going to be doing the field trip next year, and I got the time, springtime. So we're going to do it, right? So to all my followers, I love you guys. Thank you for supporting me. And Gail, wrap it up when you're ready.
I muted myself for a minute because I had to say something to someone here. And I just want to thank everyone for being here. Thank you for participating and asking wonderful questions and learning along with me. I've learned things that I didn't know as well. So thank you, Renetta, for your research and all the work that you've done gathering this information. Very much appreciated. And you are so full of information. We're going to have you on again sometime, and we'll pick another subject, but so we'll talk about that later. So thank you, everyone. I'm going to close this down. It's getting really long, so we're going to wrap it up and see you again soon. Love you all. Thank you. Love, respect, and gratitude. Remember those.
And be kind.
We have found our way. It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are, and like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers, stronger than ever. Never say never. Don't look back now, don't destiny.